header. Pajero! Oh, you beauty! Long way out. Oh, it's blasted. He's dropped back again. And Chelsea have scored. He's got it through. It's Sergio Aguero! Manchester City winner! He's going to find Van Persie on the volley. Oh! Manchester United, champions.
Hello, it's Ollie One Roddy here, and welcome to Premier League Talk. I started this series last year, but I never really got it off the ground, never really that enthusiastic about it. This year I hope to do a bit more. So, as this is the first video, I'm going to do it on a week-by-week basis, but we'll do it from the end of last Premier League season. So, the big news really, of course, we got Mourinho back as Chelsea boss. Going to be very interesting. Obviously, the parallels have been drawn. Last time he drew Chelsea, they just had a lot of big transfers come in. Then Mourinho was given extra money. And I think he's done a similar thing again. You know, when he came to the club last time, he kind of played out the players for a lot of their lifeline. And then you noticed a lot of those players' form stopped just before he went. And I believe he's doing the same thing. He's got a fresher team. I think he's going to learn how to use that fresher team, bring in a few more players. Chelsea's going to be a really big threat this season. Defo, look out for them. Challenges for the Premier League title. On the subject of Chelsea, Edson Cavani, big target for Chelsea and Man City. If Cavani goes anywhere, he's looking likely to go either to the Premier League for Man City or Chelsea or Real Madrid. Reports from The Sun, the Metro, and BBC Sport linking with those places. Real Madrid could be signing Gareth Bale. There have been numbers quoted at £85 million from Tottenham Hotspur, although at the moment Bale doesn't seem that adamant to go, so we could see where that one leads. Plus and minuses either way. Obviously a lot of money for Tottenham if they do choose to sell him, but Bale did have a lot of good form last season, so one or the other. Obviously, Wigan boss Roberto Martinez has gone to Everton and is now the Everton manager following David Moyes' departure to Man United. Martinez, obviously a great manager. I think it's going to be an exciting time for both Everton and Manchester United. Those switch up in managers, but two good managers who have brought stability to their teams over the past few years. Also quite interesting, I think it's going to be, because, you know, both of them were, I wouldn't say spectacular in their old roles. I mean, obviously Moyes at Everton for nearly 14 odd years, never won a trophy. Obviously Martinez did at Wigan, but I wouldn't say it was a trophy won on solidity and building a team up. It was more of a good FA Cup run and form over a few months. So I'm not saying either manager's better than the other, but I think it's going to be a case of both of these teams maybe won't do so well this season, but I think they've got managers who like to build up teams, who like to learn about their teams, and who will build a team, will challenge further in the future. So let's keep an eye on that. Now we'll have a look at a few of the transfers already completed in the Premier League. Fulham, really one of the big players here. They've already bought 3 players, amongst others. We've got Martin Stecklenburg from Roma, good goalkeeper. He was very highly sought after a few years ago. He's kind of gone a bit quiet since then, but you know, still a solid goalkeeper, not prone to making many mistakes. Got a few years ahead of him. Fernando Amobrieta, who is come over from Spain, Atletico Bilbao. Another good defender. I mean, not spectacular, but a good signing for Fulham. And Derek Boateng, who I can't pronounce the name of the team that Derek Boateng has come from, but again, another solid player. Fulham made some good signings so far, very early in the transfer window. Get in there early. I think Martin Jol wants to make those signings early and build on that over the summer. So well done, Fulham. Man United have signed a player, Guillermo Varela, from Latin America. Again, not a player I don't really know too much about, but You know, it was obviously a signing from Ferguson, or a signing that they'd planned whilst Ferguson was there. So, you know, we can guarantee that he's a good player if we base it on most of Ferguson's signings. Interesting how Ferguson was signing up players for when Moyes was getting there, but, you know, obviously if you've been in a job for 26 years, maybe you just keep going until you keep going until the end of your contract. Maybe he wasn't viewing his tenureship with the idea that he was leaving. Maybe he was just thinking, well, what would I do if I was staying on? Which I suppose is a very good way to do it. The one transfer I thought was a bit strange was Fernandinho from Shakhtar Donetsk to Man City. 28 years old and 30 million spent. Now, don't get me wrong, I do know a bit about Fernandinho. He's a good player. 30 million for him is a bit extreme. You know, especially when you've got a player who's 28 years old. I mean, you look at Van Persie, was bought for 24 million last season, and Van Persie's an extraordinary player, or at least has hit extraordinary form. You know, that's a player maybe you spend 24 million on. But Fernandinho, we'll have to see. I mean, he could flourish in the Premier League, but only time will tell. Maybe, though, for me, a bit too much money. I suppose it is Man City, so they've got money to waste. Last few bits and bobs. The released players list. Obviously, every season, some players' contracts run out. They don't get kept on. Now, we've heard about a lot of them, the retiring players, Scholes, Carragher, Owen, etc., etc. But a few players who might not know have been released by their clubs. I'll give you a quick rundown. So we've got Andre Arshavin of Arsenal, Thomas Hitzlsperger of Everton, Mark Schwarzer of Fulham, and Mladen Petric of Fulham. Two players that surprised me because I thought they were good players. Schwarzer especially, I mean, he was one of those players, he's getting on, but I thought he could have played forever. Kolo Touré's gone from Manchester City, along with Wayne Bridge, for anyone who cares. David Bentley has been released by Tottenham. Less said about him the better. And Roque Santa Cruz has also been released by Manchester City. And they're not the only players who have been released. There's been a list of some 50, 60 players who I wouldn't go all the way through, but I thought they were some of the interesting ones that some people might not know about. And not all of these players have retired. I mean, maybe Schwarzer and Arshavin not looking to play again, but Touré certainly is looking for another club. Talk about him going to Liverpool. I'm not sure the cases of Bentley, Hitzlsperger, Cruz and Petric. Not sure if they're staying in this country or not. But I suppose if you're a lower down team looking to retain some talent, there's definitely some talent there. Definitely, you know, no reason why not attempt to sign some of those players if you're coming into the Premier League. You know, Crystal Palace could very well lose Sahar. Maybe they'll need another attacking player like Bentley or Petric. Who knows? But that's the news generally since the end of the last Premier League season. Now, I'm literally going to go on a week-by-week basis now, just talk about the big news points. As a lot of you know, I've got another video that I do every week which is dedicated to Arsenal. So I'm going to try and keep Arsenal news out of the Premier League talk, unless it's very big news, which I can't really ignore. But yeah, last thing I'd want to say, as from an Arsenal fan, big congratulations and farewell to Sir Alex Ferguson. Whatever you say about the man, one of the great managers of our time. Before my time, he's actually been manager of Man United longer than I've been alive, so not sure I'm the best person to judge, but you know, whatever you say about him, and don't get me wrong, I've definitely said some very unpleasant things about him. I wouldn't say to his face. Clearly a great manager, and he's going to be sorely missed, and I think the Premier League is going to change a lot. That being said, on reflection of the Premier League changing a lot, I think next season is going to be one of the most interesting seasons for a good 10 years. Since the old Mourinho, we got Mourinho back. We've got, apparently Arsenal have some money to spend, if you're to believe the papers. You've got Man City still obviously spending money, could get another manager. Pellegrini is the one that's being suggested as being the next Man City manager. That was by Goal.com. So yeah, I mean, I'm really looking forward to next season. I hope you are too. I'll catch you next week. Thanks for watching my video. Please like, subscribe and comment below. I'll look at any points, maybe talk about them next week. Thanks a lot. Take care. Bye bye.